A child is born in North Korea, but as soon as he is born, the innocent child is declared a traitor. North Korea is known in the world for the strictest law, and there are a few of them that it is difficult to believe. It means that there will be an election here, but there is no option to vote. Only one person can be voted, and if not given, then straight to jail. There is only one channel on TV, and there is no option to tune the channel. North Korea is perhaps the only country in the world where you may have to go to jail, not for committing a crime, but for thinking of a crime. Welcome back to Info TV. Japan ruled over the entire country for 35 years until 1945. But after World War II, Korea was divided into two parts, North Korea and South Korea. North Korea was under Soviet influence, while South Korea was under American influence. In 1948, Kim Il-sung of the Kim dynasty was made leader, and North Korea became the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. But here, nothing like democracy was ever born. In 1950, there was a war between North and South Korea called the Korean War. But after the war ended, there was no peace treaty. Because of this, both countries, still North Korea has only one family ruler to maintain power. First, Kim Il-sung, then Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Jong-un, grandson of Kim Il-sung. Every ruler has taken the most strict law to protect his throne. Here, many rules have been made to force people to do so in the name of fear and punishment, so that people are not impressed with South Korea and Western culture and become against us. And today we will talk about some strange and poor rules. So let's start. In 2024, North Korea banned the use of sunglasses and wedding dresses. Here, speeches of Kim family are held not on metro or public stations. And during this time, no one is allowed to talk to each other or make noise. In North Korea, if people are caught watching South Korean dramas or Hollywood films, they have to face labor camps or severe punishment. These measures are used to prevent ideological contamination so that the people are not affected by foreign influences. In North Korea, ordinary people do not have internet, but only the permission to use the internet. This is a kind of this is a closed network that runs only in North Korea. The state monitors this network and sees what people are seeing, what they are reading, and what they are talking about. In this way, the government controls the information that reaches people so that they are not affected by the outside world. In North Korea, it is illegal to call a foreign country without the permission of the state. That is, if you want to talk to someone outside the country, you must take permission from the government for it. Here, only the state can run TV, radio, and newspapers. It is not even possible to imagine private media. Only the government's praise for this media is mentioned by the United States as the pride of the Kim dynasty and the enemy of the foreign country. In the common people there, hatred is instilled against America and its allies since childhood. In North Korea, the government also has strict control over people's hairstyles. The government has allowed a few special hairstyles. That is, people are told which hairstyles they can make. Everything here is banned that affects the outside world, like wearing jeans, dyeing hair, or wearing shiny dresses. The things of such people are punished and punished. Clothes are not allowed in the US because they are common in American culture and are banned due to being South Korean dishes of old people and people of the tukbuk. It is also important to have a permit to travel from one city to another, without which travel is considered illegal. North Korean passports are only available to the elite class, such as close friends of government officials and Kim Jong-un. The general public cannot leave North Korea even in dreams. In North Korea, land or house, shop or business all belong to the state. No one can own them, only they can use them, that too by the will of the state. Here, following or practicing any religion is illegal, that is, people cannot follow any religion by their will. While in North Korea, the church is there, but only to show the world that there is religious freedom. In reality, the people who use them are sent to labor camps in North Korea. If someone tries to go against the government or raise a voice against the Kim dynasty, then not only him, but the whole family is imprisoned. And this punishment can be given up to 3 generations. That is, if a person turned out to be a traitor, and after many years his grandson or granddaughter was born, then that innocent child will also be called a traitor. This is so that the blood of the rebellion could never rise against the Kim family. Here there are government spies around every colony, apartment and house who secretly keep an eye on everyone. The strangest thing is that in this country, not only to commit crimes, but even if you think of committing a crime, you may have to go to jail. That is, if someone thinks something against the government and reports it, it will be like hitting a hammer on your feet. From birth to death in North Korea, there are self-criticism sessions every week. That is, people in the full class tell their mistakes, such as I hid someone's weakness from the government, or Kim Jong-un praised him less, or I was impressed with something foreign. Then people apologize for their mistakes and the other people in the class criticize you. In North Korea, every person has to vote, but the surprising thing is that only those who are elected by the government can vote. That is, there is no election in which the public votes and chooses their leader. In fact, only one representative is elected here, and the one who does not come to vote is considered a traitor. Then why is there voting when the government has to stand alone? In fact, here the election is not for elections but a loyalty test. When 100% people vote for the same candidate, the government considers it its power and public unity. There is also a national assembly here, which is called the Supreme People's Assembly, but its job is not to make decisions but to only stamp on Kim Jong-un's decisions. It is the duty of all citizens of North Korea to follow the 10-point ideological principles of the government. If someone gets stuck in the middle while listening, he will be called a traitor. There is not a single point in these 10 points that has not been named Kim Il-sung. In North Korea, every TV set is set on government channels like Korean Central Television. This means that people cannot change channels at will, and it is illegal to tune other channels. Anti-SC tuners are already banned in imported TV sets. In North Korea, there is a registration and number plate on the cycle. Here, road safety tests have to be passed to ride the cycle, and a license has to be taken. In North Korea, foreign logos, slogans or flags are not allowed on clothes. The government sees these things as a cultural influence of the outside world and wants people to only adopt North Korean identity. Not only nationals but also tourists are subject to strict laws. Guides are required, and they can only go to the locations mentioned by the North Korean government. They can't talk to any locals or take any photos, and if a tourist wants to interview a citizen, he can't do it without permission of the tour guide. In North Korea, it is allowed to keep mobile phones and computers, but from USB drive to mobile memory is regularly checked. If any content of the outside world is found, then there can be a punishment. In North Korea, there is an extremely inhuman system of the class of citizens which is called songbun. This system means that when a child is born, his life is decided, and the family history of the child is determined by the basis of this system. For example, there are 3 classes here: One is core, the second is wavering, and the third is hostile. The first category, which is called core, includes those people whose ancestors took part in the revolution of Kim Il-sung or the soldiers of the Korean War. They are considered the most loyal members of the government. They are given better jobs like high ranks in government or army and permission to live in capital city Pyongyang. And the vehicles can also keep only this class. Second class is wavering or Donggyo Kichang. These are common North Korean citizens. Their ancestors were also common laborers or farmers, or whose past was neither good nor bad in the eyes of the government. They have the permission to take middle-class facilities in North Korea. Third category is hostile, which is also called Yoktae Kichang. It includes people whose ancestors followed a religion or had a relationship with someone in South Korea. The North Korean government considers them traitors and has given them a low status in society. They are given the worst jobs, for example, the job of a laborer or cleaning. Now let's move on. Here, electricity, water, and gas are provided with all the groceries, and their consumption is strictly monitored. It is necessary for every citizen to serve in the military for 10 years from the age of 17 in North Korea, whether he is a man or a woman. Here, it is compulsory to cry at the death of any of the Kim family members or at the death anniversary of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. If someone does not do this, his loyalty is seen as a doubt. It is a must to put pictures of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il in every house, and it is also obligatory to clean them regularly. For ideological loyalty, the school students are given the title of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il's speeches. North Korea is so different from the rest of the world that their calendar is also different, which is called the Jewish calendar. The Jewish calendar began in 1912, which is the birth year of the supreme leader of the country, Kim Il-sung. That is, the year 1912 is considered the Jewish one in North Korea. And today, in 2025, there is the year 113. There are many reasons to stay away from the North Korean world. One is that Kim's regime is afraid that if people find out about the world outside, they will be against the government. So media, travel, internet, everything is banned. The international sanctions imposed on North Korea due to the second nuclear program have made North Korea even more separate from the world. Here, let me tell you that many of these rules may have been abolished, or even more dangerous rules have been made than these. No one has updated information about this. All this information was leaked by those people who had successfully escaped from North Korea after 1953. Various areas are monitored with the help of spy satellites, or some North Koreans made footages and smuggled USB drives through China. I hope you will like and share this video of Info TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.